Greetings, seekers after enlightenment. This is Cerberus, and here we are for today's daily briefing. So let's see what fun we have today. Trump's dire week of polls shows him headed for landslide loss. Oh no! Are we gonna have a sudden rash of Trump-tard suicides? The leftists can only hope. President Donald Trump could be defeated by a landslide at the 2020 presidential election, according to a raft of national and state-level polls released this week. Some showing Joe Biden holding a double-digit lead over the incumbent. Let's see. Poll published by New York Times and Siena College. Biden held a 14-point lead over Trump. And, yeah, he looks the way I feel. Let's see. CNBC, Biden leading Trump by 9 points despite the president polling better on the economy. 47% they said they would be voting. 38% they favored the president. Trump's standing among independents also declined by 11 percentage points. Well now. You know, I am really worried. You can tell. You can tell by the quaver in my voice and the look of hopelessness in my eyes. Not! You think we forgot last time around? Now, that shrew Hillary thought she had her stolen election in the bag so much that she didn't even bother to campaign. And all of you people who were talking shit about Trump, you got a nasty surprise, didn't you? And you still haven't recovered from it yet. Well, I hope you got your prescriptions filled, because you're going to get another 4 years. I mean, really, I've seen articles where women have said, I don't care if Biden raped me, I would vote for him. Another woman said, I would vote for Biden even if he killed babies and ate them. It's almost hard to believe that you have that many people filled with hate for our president. And remember, this didn't just start, on election night. Leftists hate anybody that's not in lockstep with them. Well, you can come try and force me to be in lockstep with your twisted agenda, but bring more than one person. Because if you just bring one, he may not come back, allegedly. So, what's next here? Portland prosecutor likely to drop charges against rioters who injure cops, citing instinctive reaction. Well, my instinctive thought is, it is an instinctive reaction to run from the police when you've been busy trying to set buildings on fire, beating up old women, and dragging people out of cars. But that's just me. Instinctive reaction to police. And maybe this black guy down at the bottom suddenly realized that his picture is going to be around the world and he's not going to be able to hide. Did you forget that we live in a surveillance culture? Just the kind that you want for everybody? Right, we don't want to go there, huh? Well, we've heard it all now. Rioters have been given what is tantamount to carte blanche in Portland. It's open season on Portlanders, open season on cops, and open season on the rule of law. Scores of the 500 people who were arrested during the nearly 75 days of violent Portland riots will have their charges dropped by the new Black Lives Matter approved district attorney. Well, ain't that something? Multnomah District Attorney Mike Schmidt announced that his default position is not to prosecute and that most crimes by rioters will be forgiven and forgotten. That list of crimes includes interfering with a police officer, disorderly conduct, criminal trespass, harassment, escape in the third degree, riot sometimes. Well, now, let's hear him talk.
Crimes that presumptively fall under this category include interfering with a police officer, disorderly conduct, criminal trespass, escape in the third degree, harassment, and sometimes, in some circumstances, riot. I will also be directing my deputies to take a particularly hard look at cases involving resisting arrest and assault with a public safety officer, if those cases occurred while an individual was using tear gas or otherwise exposed to a use of force at the time of the resistance.
Really now? Man. Let's see, who said this? Oh, let's see. Attacks on police officers and resisting arrest will be scrutinized based on whether, and we're not making this up, police caused rioters to react because they used tear gas or other crowd control measures causing rioters to instinctively lash out. Now, I've said it before, I'll say it again. I have zero problem with a peaceful protest. His attorneys will scrutinize every case to determine if the person's intent was to resist arrest or injure a police officer. Wow. Protester arrested in days. Wow. Oh, man. Okay. If you're a person who is out there demonstrating and you get caught up in the melee and you get arrested, those are the kinds of cases we're talking. Okay. Well, that's the first intelligent thing that came out of your mouth today. So, I got zero problem with someone doing a peaceful protest. But, say, prosecutor, people throwing frozen bottles of water and bricks at people, people who are using gas to set a federal courthouse on fire, people who are smashing windows of stores and looting them, people who drag victims out of their cars, beat them, and destroy the vehicle. That's what's happening under your nose. Ray Charles could see it. But you do not. What are you trying to get out of giving a get out of jail free card to people destroying your city? Oh, I forgot. It's Trump's fault. Oh, okay. Let's move along. This one made me laugh. Radical activist group plans to, quote, lay siege to and occupy, unquote, the White House in September. The radical activist group that takes credit for the hashtag or pound Occupy Wall Street movement has announced plans to occupy the White House next month. We will lay siege to the White House for 50 days. Okay. We set off a political earthquake for Occupy Wall Street. Well, I don't know if earthquake is quite the right term. I remember hearing about a lot of crime that was unprosecuted among the people that were supposedly tolerant and enlightened towards each other. I know you created a public health crisis and devalued property by seizing it illegally. And I also know you were supported by people in authority. The group claims that inequality has soared over the past 11 years. Wrong. Inequality has soared over the last 70 years. You forgot about feminism? Politicians and corporate criminals continue to savage the public trust with impunity. They also called President Trump a, quote, howling void of a president, and accused him of sitting, quote, smugly atop a corona death toll that may surpass 200,000 Americans by Christmas. Now here's a quick deal that I wanted to highlight. You notice that they make a point of throwing that number out there. And it's just like on the news. Every time they throw numbers, it's just designed to cause panic. So out of, just roughly 330 million, how many is 200,000? Now, I'm not minimizing the death of any person. That is a loss for humanity. But their entire aim in just throwing out that number is to make you scared and mad. So, let's continue. It's time again for dramatic, decisive action, which is why on September 17th, in the original and enduring spirit of Occupy, we and tens of thousands of our fellow citizens will stream into Lafayette Square in Washington, D.C. We will lay siege to the White House, and we will sustain it for exactly 50 days. They repeatedly said the siege would be non-violent. Okay. Well, like I said, you want to protest? I got zero problem with that. Where I have a problem is where you destroy public property and attack people, and with your accomplices in the media, you blame everybody else. Well, if y'all decide to try some of that crap in Boise, come on over. I'm easy to find. Well, folks, that is it for today's briefing. I hope you found something of value here. And until tomorrow, remember, when one teaches, two learn.